Today is May 18th. I'm Daiki Tsamagari with the Humanities Truck. Can you tell me your name and where you are from?
I'm Sheik Azharudden, and I'm from India, Pune basically. I'm currently a student at AU, pursuing my master's degree, and I'm pretty much enjoying it through it.
And what are you pursuing your master's degree in?
Currently, I'm pursuing my master's degree in sustainability management, which is basically and STEM integrated with a business course. And it's something right now the world needs, and with the climate change and other things which we can basically see happening throughout the world. So that caught my interest with other aspect of sustainability, such as energy savings, cost savings, basically, and apart from that, how we can sustain anything for a longer period of time rather than just starting something, finishing it off, rather than have it for a longer time where people can take advantage of it and get benefit out of it. So that's how it came on to me for the sustainability part.
And would you describe yourself as like a first generation immigrant, just an international student here for school? Like, is there a way that you would see yourself?
Yeah, I'm an international student currently, to be very truthful, and yeah, first generation in terms of international student. Neither anybody from my family have traveled abroad for studies. I'm the first one who's traveling for studies. They might have traveled for different aspect, but for studies, yeah, definitely I'm the one who's, and I'm yet not an immigrant, but who knows down the line what happens after that.
And then you mentioned that you lived in different places, moved around a bit before getting here. Could you tell me a little bit?
Yeah, sure,
About that?
sure. So, well, I was born in a different part of India rather than where I grew up. It was on the eastern side of India, and at a very young age, I went down to convent missionary school, where it was a boarding school, and then that was on the western part of India. That's how my entire childhood went along. I was in a boarding. Definitely, that's part of what made me to today who I am actually. Giving me independence at a very young age, learning to team up with people, cope up with different situations. How to handle yourself in a situation where you don't know how to deal with it. So yeah, I spent a significant amount of time in Pune, basically doing throughout my education, early education, as well as my engineering. After which I did move abroad for my work in Hong Kong, and then in Bangladesh, and then in some other Asian countries, all related to work and sometimes due to vacation as well. But all this area, if you consider, you see the culturally, if I am to connect, it's more of all the Asian region have similar cultures, though there might be a significance different in food aspect, or other areas like transportation, roads, communication, and other. But overall, if you see, the Asian countries have a similar cultural background, which I tend to pick up as I moved along through my careers and other time frame throughout my travels and other issues. But yeah, I would say whatever I've been doing till now, traveling, working, studying, and it shows me it have all been pointed out to this direction where I am right now in US. Yeah, completely new city, meeting new people, studying and moving throughout the career. So that's it.
That's great. I went to boarding school too, so I know what you're
Okay,
talking about.
so you can relate.
Yeah. So then, what led your decision to move to the DMV? Like, why American? Why DC?
Okay. Well, technically, to be very truthful, I wasn't targeting US at all before coming down here for my studies. I was actually, for my studies, I was targeting either US, UK, and Canada. So
Sorry, go on.
these were my countries which I was looking at, but the field I chose for my studies was pretty niche, especially sustainability management. Not every country is teaching them, not every university is also teaching them. So when I started shortlisting and figuring out the target universities where I could do and good actually receive a good education based on my program, what I'm looking for, because not all programs are catered or tailored to your need. So what I needed was a combination of business and the sustainability field, and Kogod, especially American University's Kogod, had this program built in, which was a mixture of business and the sustainability initiative and how you could imply them in different areas. Yes, of course, there are many other universities who offers this program, but Kogod curriculum was kind of tailor made, which I needed, and that's what got my attention to move to Kogod. and somehow Kogod and AU are all situated in the DMB area. So here am I. So.
And what would you say your relationship is to the community, whether it's Indian immigrants in the DMV or Indian American communities? I don't know if you have any connections there, but
Well, yeah, since I've been after coming down to DC, if you consider, yeah, I've met a lot of Indian communities basically through the university. I mean, there are quite a few students who are here, who are from Indian background, or they are Indian Americans who are born there. Great to know them, great to understand, but yes, you could see how we are still adapting to the culture, and we are still absorbing the different cultures in DC from different people, but where people who are already Indian American, they have adopted them, and they are quite very good at navigating through those. But still, like for us, sometimes we do get a cultural shock, but I mean, those are really common things. It's nothing major to see or anything. So, but it's interesting how with the geography, how the cultural change, or you meet new people. So that's really helpful.
So would you say that there's like a distinct Indian American culture and community separate from, say, like, so Chinese American cultures have communities have Chinese American culture that's separate from Chinese culture?
I wouldn't frame it in that way, but what I could see in this is like either it be Chinese American or Indian American. I mean, once people migrate to a particular country, I think everyone tries to adopt the culture of the residing country, right? So probably I would say like either be Indian American or Chinese American. It's more of people mixing their culture with the American culture, which is kind of a very good thing to see actually, because you find a quite an interesting combo in between this culture when you see it. So for example, I'll give you I think in Kogod itself, like one of my colleague, she arranged the lunar year, I think lunar Chinese year. Basically, it was a huge event in Kogod. I mean, everybody came down, and then we were giving those smaller envelopes with that letter written inside, yeah, and then the fortune cookies. So you get a taste of all those culture along with that, which wouldn't be possible if people were not adopting or integrating those cultures in this. So I love those.
That's great. Well, speaking of, I guess fortune cookies and things. Did you have a favorite dish while growing up, especially like your cultural
Oh yeah,
dishes?
definitely. But it's an Indian dish. Of course, I love biryani.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Tell me about it. Was it like a family recipe or?
So India is a pretty big country, not as big as US, but so we have like different states, and so each state you go to, there would be a cultural change, there will be a language change, there would be a food change. So that's how India is interesting. So like for example, where I'm from Maharashtra, so you will find a different type of culture, holidays, and food habits, people habits, and everything. So you will find a different taste of the biryani, which I like basically. But once you move down from Maharashtra to any other state, you'll find biryani, but the taste is completely different. So if you to consider, the favorite part of biryani is my mom's one, which she makes. That's a homemade thing, and I love that. But apart from that, if you to ask me, the biryanis I love is from Lucknow. So it's in UP, which is Uttar Pradesh, state in India, and a city there called Lucknow. It's where you had Nawabs, kings, and other place. So it's got a lot of historical culture and vibes to that place. So I love the food over there.
And do you think you found anything like, obviously nothing beats your mom's cooking.
Right.
Do you think you found anything close to that in the DC area? Any favorite restaurants?
Yeah, I mean, I love food. I cook a lot myself. I did find a restaurant near Rockville. It's called Chettinad, and they got great biryanis and other stuff. Yeah. So if anybody is willing to try, I would recommend them. Definitely.
Check that out.
Yeah.
And then finally, what part of your culture do you keep with you wherever you go? What do you think you like bring with you, like, whether physically, metaphorically?
Well, few of the things I mean, as human or everybody keeps is, I would say, how you greet and meet people so that doesn't go away either way you go. You adopt and add good things to that procedure, but I think the basic remains same, how you meet and greet people. So that's important. Like for us Indians, guests are kind of next to God. So basically, if a guest is coming down, you treat them well, you met them. I think that's how the entire eastern region follows. So that's one thing I definitely keep. Yeah, the foods habit, we always include different things from whatever foods you get, but yeah, I think the basic remain. I think I would say the guilty comfort food or something will always be your home own food. So that's something. And yeah, apart from that, I absorb some of the new things I learned from my friends, and I try to give the same thing, like some interesting facts about India or some interesting culture about India, which other people can adopt, and that's how you build a community, right? So that's the thing I would say.
That's great. Is there anything else you want to add from your end?
It's almost been a year since I came down to DC, and to be very truthful, it's been an interesting year. It snowed up pretty much. I mean, this winter, which normally you don't see so much in DC. So yeah, I got to. I mean, DC is an interesting place. To be very truthful, one of the major reason is you can experience all the four weathers in the same day. So that's what I would say.
All right.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you, Daiki.
See you in the office.